The cameras flashed, the crowd froze, and just like that, a courtside seat in Turin became the epicenter of a global drama.
One viral clip, one new romance, and one very pointed unfollow.
Welcome to Starscope Report. Join me, Jordan, and my co-host Jamie as we uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals.
From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dig deep into the stories behind the fame.
And today, we're unpacking a story that has it all. Loyalty, betrayal, and a clapback heard around the world. The headline that started it all: Rachel Kolisi clacks back after Siya's new romance.
This is so much more than just a simple breakup story, Jordan. This is about the careful dismantling of public brand and the a rebuilding of a new one from the ashes.
Okay, so for anyone who needs a quick catch-up, let's set the stage. We're talking about Springbok captain Siya Kolisi and his now ex-wife, Rachel Kolisi.
Right. They were South Africa's and arguably one of the world's golden couples. They married back in 2016, and their whole image was built on unity, social impact with their Kolisi Foundation.
Yeah.
They were a powerhouse.
A brand. A really powerful brand. So when they announced their divorce in October 2024, they were so careful about the messaging.
Oh, extremely careful. It was all about a strong co-parenting game, friendship, mutual respect. They basically promised the world a perfect, harmonious celebrity divorce.
A promise that makes any future drama, 10 times more explosive.
Exactly. They set the bar impossibly high, so when things went sideways, everyone was watching.
And they went sideways in November 2025. We're calling it the Turin disruption.
I love that. So Siya Kolisi is spotted courtside at the ATP Finals in Turin, Italy. Very public, very visible.
And he's not alone. He's sitting next to 24-year-old Dutch model and influencer Rachel John.
But here's the crucial detail. It wasn't just the two of them on like a private date. They were with his teammates.
Yes. Eben Etzebeth, R.G. Snyman, and most importantly, Snyman's wife, Saskia Snyman.
And that's the key. A viral clip started making the rounds, showing what sources called the jovial trio: Siya, Rachel John, and Saskia all laughing, dancing. It was a public performance.
A performance of what exactly?
Of acceptance. In the world of high-profile sports, the WAG community, the wives and girlfriends, they're the gatekeepers. Saskia sitting there laughing with Rachel John was a signal.
What kind of signal?
It was an institutional endorsement. It said, she's one of us now. It took Rachel John from a rumored girlfriend to an accepted part of the Springbok inner circle, like overnight.
Wow, okay. And that's not even the wildest part of this story. So with this new Rachel being so publicly accepted, how is the other Rachel Kolisi handling all of this?
Well, this is where the two narratives just completely diverge. It's fascinating. Rachel Kolisi has been on this really deliberate rebranding mission.
Rebranding how?
She's stepping away from the captain's wife role and into this like women's empowerment and leadership space. She's been very vocal, pointing out how few women are in top CEO roles in South Africa.
So she's using her platform for activism? That's a strong move.
A very strong move. And she's also getting really real. She talked about the impossible and unrealistic pressure on women to be perfect mothers and wives while looking a certain way. She's building a brand on authenticity.
I saw that post about her borrowing a friend's car, Betsy the Yaris.
Yes, Betsy the Yaris. I mean, think about that. She's going from this glossy high-end lifestyle to posting about frantically Googling how to parallel park a tiny car with dignity.
It's so relatable, it makes her human.
It's a genius move. It creates distance from her old life and builds this incredible connection with her followers. She's basically saying, I'm starting over and it's messy, just like your life sometimes.
Okay, so that's Rachel Kolisi. Authentic, relatable, a little messy. What about the new Rachel John?
A completely different energy. She is intense.
Yeah.
A Dutch influencer, a model. She wrote a book about her ADHD.
Oh, wow.
And get this, she's a competitive kickboxer and the winner of a show called Special Forces VIPS. I mean, you can't invent a more opposite archetype to the grounded, relatable ex-wife. She projects pure, unadulterated toughness.
So one is, I'm just like you, and the other is, I can survive anything.
Precisely. And she also has the philanthropy angle covered. She founded a surf house in South Africa and runs kickboxing camps for women. So she ticks that social good box just in a much more physically intense way.
Okay, so the new dynamic is set. Rachel John is in, accepted by the inner circle. Which brings us to the moment the digital dam broke.
This is where it all explodes. It started with one seemingly small action from Rachel Kolisi.
The unfollow.
The unfollow as digital severance, as we're calling it. Right after that Turin clip went viral, sources find Rachel Kolisi unfollowed Saskia Snyman on Instagram.
Saskia, the wife who is sitting right there next to Rachel John.
The very one. And look, an unfollows might seem petty to some people, but in this world, it's a cannon shot.
Why, though? Why does it matter so much?
Because Rachel Kolisi was the former first lady of that group. Saskia was the one who publicly validated the new relationship. By unfollowing her, Rachel wasn't just being bitter, she was drawing a line in the sand.
She was rejecting the social contract of that WAG ecosystem.
100%. She was saying, you chose a side, so now I'm choosing mine. Saskia became the public casualty in this fight for narrative control.
And if you're finding these social media battles as fascinating as we are, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because what Rachel Kolisi did next took this to a whole other level.
Oh yeah. After the unfollow, she made two very cryptic, very strategic posts.
The first one was sort of a moral justification, right?
It was. It was a quote about discernment disrupts conflict and light reveals what darkness tries to protect. Basically, she was framing her unfollow not as an act of anger, but as an act of, moral clarity.
Taking the high road, but making sure everyone knows she's on it.
Exactly. But it was the second post.
Yes.
The second post is the one that became a global headline.
The meme.
The meme. She posted a meme that asked if she should handle a situation like a Proverbs 31 woman or channel my inner Tupac.
Wow. I mean, just wow. Let's unpack that. A Proverbs 31 woman is
the perfect, virtuous, dignified wife. It's the archetype she was supposed to be playing, according to their graceful divorce announcement. Quiet, composed.
in her inner Tupac.
That's the complete opposite. Tupac represents defiance, speaking truth to power, confronting betrayal head-on, no matter how messy it gets.
So she's not just clapping back, she's declaring a whole new identity.
It's a declaration of war against the expectation that she should just be a silent, graceful ex-wife. She's saying, I will not be erased. I have a voice and I'm going to use it. It's incredibly powerful.
But isn't there a risk there that she just looks bitter or angry?
Of course there's a risk, but the reward is agency. A quiet exit gets you forgotten. The inner Tupac gets you seen. It forces everyone to acknowledge her side of the story, and it solidifies her new brand as someone who fights for herself.
So this was never really about a simple love triangle.
Not at all. This was a masterclass in narrative warfare fought on the battlefield of Instagram.
So when we look at the big picture, what are the key takeaways here? What can we learn from this?
Well, first, look at the communication strategies. Siya Kolisi and Rachel John, calculated silence. They say nothing.
Which does what for them?
It insulates Siya's brand as the stoic captain. It pushes all the emotion, all the messiness onto Rachel Kolisi's court.
And her strategy is the opposite. It's authentic vulnerability.
Yes. She embraces the messiness, the Betsy the Yaris story, the Tupac meme. She's falling forward, as she puts it. That vulnerability is what makes her new brand so strong and so relatable.
And later in the episode, we'll talk about the shocking twist nobody saw coming in another celebrity feud. But back to the Kolisis, you mentioned the WAG ecosystem.
Right. The speed at which that group realigned around the new partner just shows how fragile an identity can be when it's tied to someone else's status.
So Rachel had to break away to survive.
She had to. She saw the institution was no longer behind her, so she had to build her own. That unfollow wasn't just about hurt feelings. It was a strategic severing of ties to protect her own brand.
It's incredible. That one moment, a courtside appearance in Turin, just set off this huge chain reaction of personal and public rebranding.
It was the trigger. And it shows how fast you have to move in the digital age to control your own story when it plays out in public.
Okay, before we wrap this deep dive, here's a final thought for you to chew on.
Let's hear it.
Considering how quickly that social world reorganized itself around Siya, what does this whole thing really say about power that comes from association like through marriage versus the power you have to build for yourself brick by messy brick?
It makes you wonder if a truly quiet, graceful, high-profile divorce is even possible anymore. Not when every follow, every like, and especially every unfollow is seen as a strategic move on a global stage.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture.
Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.